Hey guys, it's Damien again. I've got another video. I wanted to talk about several different ways if you are new to the food business or if you are thinking about starting a food business and you're kind of wondering how many different ways or what different ways can I get my product to a customer and get to a consumer. If you're not familiar with the food business, the following will give you an example. Now, you got to understand that there is a difference between a commercially licensed food producer who can sell pretty much anywhere they want to sell, online to retail stores, wholesalers, and distributors. A cottage kitchen is a locally produced from your home food product, and then you sell it locally. And traditionally, many of the laws in almost every state actually tell you that you need to also deliver that directly to your consumer, your customer. So just understand the two differences, okay? So the list I'm going to give you is kind of a blend of the two, and I'll just specifically show you which ones are cottage kitchen type of business models, and then the type of business model that you can sell commercially through a commercial kitchen when you're at a different licensing and a different type of facility, the different ways to sell. So this is something for really for beginners. If you haven't really started a food business, or if you're just starting and you kind of want to find out what are your options on where and how and who you can sell it to, this video will help you out, okay? So I've got 7 specific ways. The first one I'm going to talk about is selling online. Okay, so if you're not familiar with selling your food products online, being online is amazing because the benefit to selling your food online, by the way, this is not a cottage kitchen method of delivering your products. Cottage kitchen cannot sell online, but there are a few states that actually now have enacted as part of updates to their cottage law bills that are laws. They've actually updated to the opportunity that you can promote a product on a website, and in some states you can accept payment for the product itself. You can transact it, but you cannot ship it out of the state. Okay, so that's a little different. So just understand the difference. You simply can deliver it to either the venue or the customer who would purchase the product. So if you're in a commercial facility or you're thinking about renting a space and then developing a product in a commercial facility, selling online is fantastic, okay? The benefits of selling online is 24/7, okay? Selling a food product, or actually just selling anything, to be honest with you. As you may know, obviously the internet is open 24 hours a day. So a lot of times when you're sleeping, you can literally be making money and selling a product that you're going to wake up to the next day and get emails, hey, you've sold a whole bunch of products, et cetera, et cetera. Selling online, you have a lot of options within that too. You can create your own website. You can sell on a website like an eBay, an Amazon, or Etsy. And you can now actually sell, I don't personally do this myself, but through Facebook, you can actually sell products utilizing Shopify and such like things like that. So selling online is great just for the bottom line. It's very simple, 24/7. Every single moment of the day, your store is open. Okay, so, and I want to kind of, I don't know if you know too much about my history or myself. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, I've run a business. I've had a brick and mortar Italian bakery with my wife and my family. And we ran that for years, and it actually went very, very well. We transitioned to a different business model when we had my son. So what we did is that having the brick and mortar had a lot of pluses and a lot of pros and cons. And to be honest with you, in this day and age, it depends on the type of product you're selling. We had gelato ice cream, fresh breads, we had cookies, we had pastries, we had cakes, we had a lot of stuff. But obviously some of that is not really conducive or beneficial to offer online. Shipping ice cream and stuff, you can do it, but it's not a business you really are very profitable in. So the idea that you could sell a baked good or a cookie product or something like that from a brick and mortar is online is something that you can incorporate. And what I mean by that is if you operate a bakery, or if you know someone in your family or a friend who sells baked goods and they have a storefront, they need to incorporate a business online, some type of presence, because you can make more money offering to a 24-hour a day open store, if you will. Because when you have a brick and mortar business, you're relying on the foot traffic to come through your front door every day, and if they don't come through your front door that day, sales, they go up and go down, and they may not be as good as they could be, because being online 24/7. Okay, so that's the first method. The next method is brokers. Food brokers. What is a food broker? Okay. Well, a food broker is a person. It's part of it's an organization of salespeople. And the way they work is if you are a producer of a product, it doesn't actually necessarily have to be food. There are other brokers that deal with other products and such, but specifically food brokers, what they'll do is they have a relationship with retail stores, and they also have a relationship with retail buyers, okay? This day and age, a lot of the big chain stores, big chain grocery stores, they don't buy the products on a store base, on an individual store level. They have a corporate buyer, it's called. And the buyer is the one who is a friend of or has a good relationship with a food broker. So the broker represents you, and they will go to the corporate buyer and say, look, you know, Billy down the street, he's got this great food company. He's got a great facility. He's manufacturing a great tasting cracker. Here's a discount, blah, 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 blah. So they bring the buyer from the chain to your product, and they're the guy in between. Now, they do get a cut. You have to understand that they don't do it for free. They traditionally do it for a percentage. But a lot of brokers work off an incentive program where if they can bring in more money to you, they get more money for them, okay? Normally, from my understanding across the industry, it is a percentage, traditionally a set percentage, but there's a lot of ways that they can work a contract with you. It's not necessarily 5%, 10%, 12%. So that is an individual basis based on the contract that you sign with them, okay? But brokers are great because what they become is kind of like your foot soldiers in a sense that they go out and they find the retail stores and they bring your product to them and they bring you that business. So that's another way that you can sell it, okay? So we have sell it online, you have brokers, direct to retailers. Okay, so this is I would say a better route than brokers to food brokers. Every type of food product really has its own characteristics, and the way that it's sold and the way that it can be sold varies, okay? This is a way that I got myself into a national chain. I'm not necessarily going to, well, I could tell you that it's a fresh market. We started selling in fresh markets locally. And the way it worked is that I just basically picked up the phone and said, hey, I called the corporate office. Who is your buyer? Put them on the phone. Plain and simple. You can't be scared about it. You can't be intimidated about it. Pick up the phone. If you believe enough in your product, you want your business to grow, pick up the phone and call somebody. Okay? If you don't know, ask. Call their corporate office. Say, hey, who's your buyer? Are they in today? I need to talk to them. I have a product. I want to sell them. That's basically what I did, and I got myself into the fresh markets. So if you're not familiar with fresh markets, it's like Whole Foods. And in the area that I was in about 8 stores, I think. 7 or 8 stores. So what they did and what they normally do when you want to deal direct to a retailer is they'll start you in what's called a regional rollout or within a certain state. They're going to give you about 3 or 4 stores or 5 or 6, however many your production can handle, okay? But the good thing about direct retailers is that you cut out the brokers. So if you feel like you can sell your own product and you've got that ability, you don't have to deal with cutting a 5 or 6, 10% to a broker. You just deal directly to the retailer, okay? And what they'll do is they'll say, you know what, give me 100 bags for this store, give me 100 bags for that store, give me 100. And then from there, traditionally, the only thing that you've got to do is you normally have to show up if it's a new product. My wife and I actually had to go every weekend, set up a table, which was time consuming, but we did it. And we would sell about 2 or 3 dozen bags, and eventually we realized being on Amazon and being in some different places were better for our business model. So it's not always, the thing about retailers is that the margins were a little lower because they bought it at a wholesale or bulk pricing, okay? Because they have to have a margin. There's got to be space for them to make some money on each product. So for us, the way that we're set up now, it just makes more sense. But directly to the retailer, something you can do, pick up the phone, ask questions. If you don't know the answers, ask, okay? Local mom and pops. Alrighty. What is a mom and pop store? Okay, so you have a family-run business, and it is a chain of maybe 6 stores in Wisconsin. Okay, and it's a family-run business. It's a mom and pop. They don't have a lot of the more stringent regulations or corporate rules and policies that some of the big chains have. So they're a little more flexible about how and what kind of products they can carry. But they're a great way, local mom and pops, they're a great way to get started dealing with retailers. Again, how do you do this? You just want to pick the phone up and say, look, I go to your grocery store, I shop there all the time, but I have this great product. We just got a great facility set up. I'm commercially licensed. I'm ready to roll. I got a great snack. I want to introduce it. Can we sell at your store? And most of the times they are yes, okay? Because they're in a family business. They know the challenges of small business. And they're always willing to help and kind of bring in new products for their customers. So it's a great way, again, to experience on a small level how to deal with retailers and how to get your food product out there, okay? Fairs and festivals. All right. Now, by the way, brokers, direct retailers, local mom and pops are not applicable if you are a cottage kitchen. Again, let me specify that. Cottage kitchens can't sell to retailers. But you can sell at fairs and festivals locally. Now, this is the next one. Fairs, festivals, car shows, arts and crafts shows, food festivals even. Those are great, again, great places locally that under a cottage food law, if you happen to be producing from your home, that you have the ability to go to. Okay, farmers markets, there's another one. Okay, so they're great to get started with farmers markets, and you have the ability to sell on a small scale. And again, get a taste, no pun intended, but get a taste for the area that you're in. Get some customer feedback. You have people that attend these fairs and festivals. Interact with them. See, hey, what do you think of my product? What do you think? We're just new. We're trying it out. It's a great starting point, okay? It's a good place to start. The next one is distributors, okay? Distributors are not open to cottage food laws, not open to cottage kitchens. If you're making the stuff at home, distributors you can't do with. But if you're a commercial facility or if you're in the process of investing money in a commercial style business, distributors are another way. Now, how does a distributor work? Good question. Distributors will bring together anywhere from a few hundred to a few thousand products. Let's say specifically, again, this is about food. There are food distributors, and what they do is they'll have 10, 12 categories: candies, crackers, snacks, soup mixes, those types of things. So food distributors have a huge warehouse, enormously big warehouses. They will ship the products to their retailers, again, that they have a relationship with, similar to food brokers, okay? Distributors are kind of like a food broker in a sense, but they actually will warehouse the product, have tons of it on hand, simply order it from you to have you ship it to them, and then they sell to retailers, okay? So food distributors are a great way. Again, you have to be commercial. It's not something that's cottage kitchen allowed, okay? And lastly is Amazon. Amazon buys from you. What does that mean? If you are in, again, a commercial facility and you are selling online, you're selling to Amazon or sell through Amazon, Amazon has an actual feature where they will buy your product from you and give you 30 to 60 day net. So that means if they buy 1,000 units, they're going to buy it, and then they sell it to whatever price point they want. You make your cut, you make your percentage, but the only small drawback to that is if you're a small business, you have to front the order and wait 30 or 60 days, okay? Traditionally, it's about 60 days. So you ship 1,000 units to Amazon, they start selling and selling and selling, but you don't get paid for about 30 to 60 days. So if you can afford that, because that's a lot of money you're tying up, if you can afford it, hey, do it, try it. There's a benefit to it too, is that Amazon, when they buy a product and they're going to sell it, they're going to promote that like crazy, okay? On the searches, whenever people look for, let's say, crackers, garlic crackers, and you just sold them a great line of garlic crackers, there's a very good likelihood that within the algorithm and the searches, yours will pop up because Amazon promotes their products that they own, that they have paid for. They're going to want to push through it quick. So that's a good thing, because once they do push through it quick, they're going to place another order with you. So that's another way to sell. So there's 7 ways. And again, depending on how your business is set up If you are a commercial or cottage kitchen, there are two different types. There's a lot of different ways to sell your products. So don't get discouraged or don't despair. If you're starting small, that's good. If you're already past that and you're in a commercial setting, there's a lot of other ways to sell than just the retailers. Okay, you can make a lot more money online. I can tell you that. You can make a lot more money online. So anyways, if you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't, like I always say, just give me a thumbs down, guys. If you can, please ask questions. If you have anything that you need me to help you with. Also, check out Marketing Food Online 2, my other channel. You get direct access to me and my amazing information. So thank you guys for your time and watching. So thanks.